I'm in a lovely location today. It's called Hoghton Bottoms, and it's near an old, very old mansion house, which is right up at the top of this hill, and it's called Hoghton Towers. Not Hoghton Towers as in where you go on all the rides. This is called Hoghton Tower in the area of Hoghton, just outside of Preston. The place where we are is in Hoghton Bottoms. It's a lovely walk. I've been on this walk before. We've had some, you know, like spooky feelings around here because there's a lot of hauntings that go on within this area. People are having seeing strange apparitions up near the mansion up at the top. But they've heard noises and had strange things happening around the bottom where we're walking today, which is within this wooded area. It comes down to a path that runs along a river, which is a lovely area. That's why I wanted to come down here. I've not been down for a while, and I thought, while all the leaves are changing colours, we might get some really nice shots, and investigating the area as well, looking to see if there's anything strange that we capture while we're walking around this area. So if you're seeing as well, I've got with me today Simon. We're coming out on this lovely walk round here, and Simon's never been down here, and I want to show him the area because there's a lovely viaduct that we go through a little village called Hoghton Bottoms, and we pass a viaduct, and there's a waterfall down here as well. It's a lovely countryside, and it's really hidden away, you know, right from this is actually just off the A675 as well, and as you know, we've had a lot of strange things that happen along that stretch of road, the A675. So we're actually walking along this path, and I've just noticed over in the hill in the distance, which is called Billinge Hill, where Oliver, one of the witnesses who saw a Bigfoot within that area. So we're not that far from there to Winter Hill, which is about 5 miles behind me. And this is all the countryside in between Winter Hill and going over towards that area, and then going up to the Trough of Bowland, which is further in that direction.
So they must be ancient.
Yeah.
Because look how they're curved. They've been worn by people walking up and down them for so many centuries that it's worn the way the stone.
That's a very tight set of steps, isn't it? And it's this here. This is great, isn't it?
Private property, trust me, possibly, but who would go inside? It's a ruin.
Yeah, but it's dangerous, isn't it? Collapsing, and you know, some people tend to go in with, you know, like wild campers who'll use something like this for shelter if they can get in there.
I wouldn't go near it.
No, it's too dangerous, isn't it? So we come to the viaduct, and it's an impressive bridge. There's a very impressive bridge. The area we're actually in, there used to be a lot of mills down here, and a lot of houses are left over from them mills. and we've got the river here running at the side, and you can see a golf course across the way. I really like walking down this area because of the river. It's really rugged around here, and there are lots of rocks, and yeah, there's a waterfall a little bit further along, but look at this. Lovely, isn't it? So this little path we're on, it leaves the village behind, and we're sort of like going around the bottom of Hoghton Tower, which is right up there. Oh, some of the path is eroded here. It's a bit dangerous. Be careful there, Si. Well, the last time we came around here, it was me and Cooch, and we were walking, and we'd come from the other side and walked this way, and it was one night after there'd been a really heavy rainfall, and as we were walking along here, we could hardly hear each other speaking because of the noise of the river. But we're sort of in a valley now. You know, we've got the river over time has quarried this area out, because we're like sort of quarried on one side and quarried on this side. When I get to a better point, I'll show you what it's like. But they must have concreted some of this up so they can make a walkway where people can like enjoy this area. But on this side of me, it's like this. And then on the other side of the river, I'll just move away from the trees and show you this side. And it's like this, more or less, along this stretch. And we're coming up to the waterfall in a little while, so it will get quite noisy as we get closer and closer to it. And I always forget how lovely it is round here, because we don't come round this part that often. But as you can see now, I'm going to have to start shouting because it's really noisy here, because it's in really good flow at the moment. So we move a little bit further along, not that much further along, but it's gone quieter. But on this side, look how still it is. It looks as though it's not moving. But with the noise, you can tell that it's moving with quite a force. I've just missed it myself, but Simon just saw a kingfisher, which disappointed him because I would have loved to capture that on film. So peaceful and quiet down here. We're sort of in a valley, and apart from the little village we walked through to get here, there's nothing else around here, and this lovely river coming through. So this is part of the Whitton Weaver's Way, and I didn't know that goes through Blackburn and Darwin. I wonder how long this bridge is going to last. A bit wobbly to walk on. So you can imagine, like when you hear Bigfoot reports and they say people, like who have witnessed them, walking paths like this many times, and they've looked out across the river, because it is a wide river this, and you can imagine this Bigfoot type creature just on the other side squatting down fishing, because there are lots of salmon and trout within this waterway. I'm getting I think the squirrels are throwing things there. Got acorns falling down. But yeah, you can imagine just walking along this side and seeing something like that just on the other side of here, just scooping and fishing in a world of its own. Oh, I've just seen the kingfisher just as I was talking. I wonder if it'll come back up. But here we go, the view we've got here at the moment is this. But no more kingfishers. I just saw it flying past.
The kingfisher?
Yeah, I could. It was too quick to get on camera.
It's minnow hunting.
Yeah.
You see lots of minnows. They love minnows.
So you can see on that side of the river there,
Yeah.
you can see where the water level has gone up and pushed all that over to one side.
Yeah. It floods into the river.
Yeah.
And that's the floodplain. that's why there's no houses on it.
Yeah, it is over there, yeah.
It's a green meadow because it's a floodplain.
That's why there's no more houses around this area.
Because of the flooding. Yeah, nothing north of the weir, you can get flooding. But south of the weir, you don't.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Same here, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, look at that. It's lovely. And that over there, that's Blackburn. Be a bit careful here. It's a bit muddy and close to the edge. I forgot about how muddy it was around here. I should have put my boots on.
Doesn't matter.
But I weren't expecting it. You know, you half expect to not see anyone else when we're out walking at a place like this. But I see we've got some walkers in front of us who are coming this way. I do know we come out to this bit of a wooded area in a sec, and we end up in a big field. But Simon was saying about getting a canoe. It'd be great having a canoe in this river, which it would be great, because it's just so, you know, it looks as though it's hardly flowing in places. Then every so often we come to a little rugged area. But it would be great just to come down on a little canoe, because it is deep enough for that. So we're walking up this path at the moment, and it's just a very steep path. And we're getting in that hot, taking the jumper off. A little bit cooler, but quite a thick shirt as well. I think we're nearly at the top of it. Perhaps I should have come the other way around. Worked our way down and then back up a different way. Yeah, looks a bit flat up here now. Yeah, this looks easier, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Whew. I forgot about that actually. I have walked it before, but I forgot about that a little bit.
It's so steep.
Yeah, it's this path where the pub is at bottom. So that takes you down to the road down there. So the area we're walking through, there is a layer line that runs through here. It goes from across the field over there to my left, all the way up to Hoghton Tower itself up there. Now this layer goes, it starts off in Sefton at a place called St Helens Well, and it ends up over near Grisdale, I think it is. Yeah, around Grisdale, and it's called St Helens Well over there in Yorkshire. And it runs through this place. And I've been looking into this layer for quite a few years now. I call it the St Helens line because it goes from there to there, and it's got a few St Helens churches in between as we're coming over here. And there's one in Brindle actually, not Brindle, sorry, Brindle, which has now changed its name. It used to be St Helens Church, and they changed the name. I can't remember the name of it now, what they changed it to. But the area just behind where we're walking, this layer runs through here, through the trees in the back and the fields. And there's a part on the road where I think around 2012 I had a really strange experience, and this is when I was looking into layer lines, and I weren't doing what I do now, looking into the phenomena what we're looking into these days. And I was a passenger in a car, and there was the driver who was with me, and we were driving along the road, and where this layer goes through that part of the road and up over here, something, I mean there's a tall wall on one side and a tall wall on the other, something jumped over which I thought was a deer, and it came flying over the wall, and I thought it were heading straight for us, and my first thought was, well, we're going to hit this. And as we're going towards it, all of a sudden it disappeared. It shocked us both, it disappeared, and we didn't get out of the car, we didn't stop or anything, because we actually saw it disappear in front of our eyes. And that time I just come across this line, because we've been over to Sefton, and I've just come across this line and thought, you know, I think it was actually before I named the line itself. Yeah, I think it was. And it shocked us both. I can't remember where I was heading to at that time when we were coming this way. But yeah, it just sort of like jumped out in front of us. It really like scared me, because I thought that was it. You know, we were going to hit it. Not that flying, and it would have brought the car off, because it was large. Whatever it was large. And my thoughts at the time was, with deer, they tend to, a lot of them, from what I've worked out in the past of looking into layer lines, I find a lot of deer travelling on these layers, and I'm wondering whether this had happened at one time. It had jumped over this wall and been knocked over, and this was the energy left behind. You know, the stone tape theory, where it keeps playing over and over and over again, And that night we were lucky enough to actually see it being played at the time we were driving past. So we are on where we started earlier on. We're not far from that little bit of woods, and we're not far from the car. But on this side is and on the other side we saw Darwin Tower and Blackburn and all over that area. Now on this side we're looking over towards the Pendle Hill area over here. So going from Winter Hill and then getting to here and then going over to Pendle, it's, you know, we've got this green belt that goes all the way across with all these strange and wonderful things that seem to happen around here. And then, like I said, I mean, mentioning that about the what I thought was a spectral deer jumping out on that road. That was part of the A675, where a lot of these weird things happen and reports come to myself. Lancashire is a very mysterious place for all these things to be going on, and around this area where we are, there are lots of hauntings. There are lots of strange things within the woods as well. Well, there we go, we're at the end of the walk now. We've come back through the little bit of woods where we started, and it's got quite busy around here. Quite a lot of people walking around now. I weren't expecting this many people around, but I've been turning the camera on and off while people have been walking about. But this small path we're on now will take us back to the car. And again, thanks for coming along. Thanks for walking with us in this lovely area. And please, if you've not subscribed, please subscribe. Every little bit helps. Please like, share these videos, and I'll see you on our next one, on our next walk.